What's going on, everybody? Just sitting here watching the Champions League game. The game that's live for me right now is Barcelona and Inter, which is cool. I get to see some more Icardi. Came really close to scoring too, which that was good. That was good. But I hope you guys are all having a good day. Um, and hey, agnostic, what's going on, man? Um, but so today we're going to be covering all the games that happened in the NFL this week. We're going to go over my predictions that I made, which I did really, really well for the most part this last week in my picks. So I'm a little bit proud of that. A little bit proud. Um, I even made in some of my more bold predictions. I definitely got those right too. Um, what's up, Mr. Exclusive? How you doing, man? Sorry, guys, my voice is a little dead today. Druddy! What's up, man? What's up? Headed to London. Football, exactly. This is football. You have to say it with a southern accent. Football. So, all right, guys. Well, we're going to start off. My home game that I went to, the Denver Broncos at the Arizona Cardinals. Like I predicted, we got our shit pushed in horribly. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Less of the foot though. A touchdown in the end zone. Yes, Roddy. Yes. So the Cardinals lost 45-10. Denver Broncos were a 1.5 point favorite in this game with an over/under of 41.5. Now they definitely beat the over/under, which that surprised me. I thought for sure we weren't going to give up 45 points, but for sure I thought we were going to give up at least 30. So yeah, that was pretty crap. I hated it. I hated being there. It was probably a lot like being at the United versus Juventus game last night. A lot like that. So is Terry Crews still a linebacker, and when is OJ back from the I'm not quite sure, Drotty. Terry Crews definitely isn't a linebacker still, but agnostic, that's awesome. So maybe we'll do a live watch along of the game, so that way I could try and explain anything to anybody that has questions. Like I said, I want this channel I want to make this so we can have conversations back and forth, and we could try and learn from each other about the different sports that go on. Think it could be fun, but yeah. So I got my prediction right on for the Arizona Cardinals and Denver Broncos. I said we were going to get our butts kicked. The Cardinals, we were going to get our butts kicked, and we got our butts kicked. So moving on, because I'm sad right now. I'm Irish, but I'm kind of falling. Drotty, I know you do. I know you do. So Tennessee which were at the Los Angeles Chargers, which that game was in London. So the game ended 19-20, which I did predict that it was going to be under the 6.5 points for the Chargers. So this game was a close game, and honestly, Tennessee made a really stupid decision in not going for the field goal at the end of the game. Like, how the heck do you not go for the field goal, for the extra point at the end of the game? So Tennessee scored a touchdown end of the game with no time left, or basically no time left. I should say that. Basically no time left. And instead of going for the extra point, which would have added 1 point to their score, they instead decided to go for 2 and go for the win. And they missed the extra point. They missed the 2-point conversion, and that was game over. Game over. But I did predict that game being under, and I did predict that the Chargers were going to win the game. So I got all of that right. All of it. I'm proud of that. Also wondering how the rookie QBs, DeShone Kizer and the other lads for Dallas. So I don't even know if DeShone Kizer's in the NFL anymore, Drotty. But Dak Prescott is doing okay, but he doesn't have any wide receivers. They did just trade for Amari Cooper. Which that was an interesting trade. I have to say that was a really interesting trade. But exactly, Mr. Excuses, they rolled the dice and they lost. I mean, they tried, but at the end of the game, especially when you're in a game in London, you got to go for the extra point. Just go for the easy points and go to overtime because you never know what can happen in overtime. So real quick, I'll read Jack's comment. In the NFL, it's kind of shit that after 5 games for your season can be over and the other 10. Yeah, exactly. No, I agree, Jack. No, Jack, you could never have promotion relegation in the NFL. Never. You would ultimately wind up having like teams with no fans because everybody with a shit team would just never follow. That's just the truth. You couldn't have a lot of promotion relegation in the States, I believe, because I believe that we're too bandwagon in this country. Deshaun Watson is back from injury. Roddy. And he's actually having a decent season too. So next game. Sorry, I know we're taking a little bit longer here. I predicted that New England was going to win the game against Chicago. And New England was a -3 favorite. I said New England were going to win this game. And they did, and they definitely beat the point spread too. So game ended 38-31, and the over-under on that was 49.5. I think I said bet the under because I thought that was going to be a defensive game. And ultimately it was not. It was a fun game to watch, though. So Chicago ended the game through a Hail Mary, and they barely missed scoring the touchdown. Like, so sad. So sad. Because, I believe it was Kevin White caught the ball, stretched out, and just barely, like by half a yard, missed getting into the end zone. So real quick, before I move on to the next game, because ultimately New England did exactly what I said they were going to do. They were going to win. Moving on. So Daniel said, who's the most informed player in the NFL at the moment? Todd Gurley for me. Todd Gurley's not a bad shout. I actually think you're probably right on. Either him, Pat Mahomes, actually Tommy just right there, Pat Mahomes, or Kareem Hunt. That was the Kareem Hunt right now is super hot. Super hot. I have no clue about NFL apart from watching the Real Tackles, Prep Boys. Can see something exactly. So everybody, I am thinking of doing a live stream of an NFL game. Like we can figure out a game that everybody will have, and then I'll watch it with you guys. I can get every game live here, and then we can watch. And if you guys would like to do that, if you guys want to do that, tell me here or drop a like on the video, whatever it is. And honestly, I would love to do that with you guys to that way try and teach you guys about the sport a little bit if you don't understand. But trust me, Droddy, I will never forget Kurt Warner. He's an Arizona Cardinal for life. So moving on, I'm sorry, I lost my place here. So in the Cleveland and Tampa Bay game, I couldn't pick a winner because I didn't know how that game was going to go. That was it was Tampa was a -3, and I kind of had a sneaking suspicion that the Browns were going to be. Maybe Droddy. I think it could be fun. So Tampa Bay and Cleveland. So the game ended 26-23. So Tampa basically, in terms of the point spread, tied the score, but the over-under on the game, I did predict it going over, and it did not go over. So, Droddy, I'll look up the copyright laws, but I think that if we did it exactly how the United Stand does it with their watch-alongs, I think we'd be okay. Does anyone else think Cam Newton is the NFL version of Paul Pogba? All the flash and talent, but both. But yeah, I've got Cam Newton as my fantasy quarterback, and he's a tough one to predict. That's a really good comparison, Jack. Really, really good comparison. So I did predict. So I didn't predict a winner in that game, but ultimately Tampa did win the game. It was a fun game too. Went to overtime. The Browns have been involved in overtime games. I think 6 out of their 7 games. That's kind of crazy considering how bad the Browns were last year. That's an amazing thing. Yeah. But yeah, Mr. Exclusive, I think we'd be fine too. I do think we'd be fine. So moving on. So Dan, I told you, Dan. So Carolina, I called them upsetting Philly in Philly. And Carolina went in there and won 21-17. They were down in the game, but they came back and they won that game 21-17. And they didn't even need the 4.5 points that Philly got. They didn't need anything. And I called under on the point spread, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I'm really proud of that pick because, like I said, I've got a couple of Carolina Panthers on my team. I've got Cam Newton and I've got Christian McCaffrey, and they definitely helped me out. Yeah, I know, right, Mr. Exclusive? I could give you guys some solid bets for the NFL. So next up, we have Minnesota at the New York Jets. Sorry, I'm being annoying, but I don't know what you do. What, dude, agnostic. It's all good, man. Like I said, we're going to do a watch along. I decided we're going to do a watch along. We'll figure out what game everybody has available, and we'll do a watch along for a game. So that way, if anybody has any questions, I can answer them along the way and try and teach you about something. Because, like I said, I want this channel to be about educating and learning from each other and trying to take people's opinions into effect. I think it'd be awesome, man. One a nice 6 game. Tommy, that's awesome, man. We'll definitely do it. Do a watch along for a game. That's actually not a bad idea. Does anybody in chat know when the next game that's in London is? I can do that game, no problem. I just would have to wake up early for you guys, but I don't mind that. I don't mind doing that for you guys. So like I said, I did pick Carolina. So this next game, Minnesota at New York. Eagles Jaguars next Saturday, I think. Ooh, that's a decent game too. So what do you guys think about that? Eagles and Jaguars. It's this Saturday. So Dan, is it this Saturday or do you mean Sunday? I think you mean Sunday. But either way, so Minnesota at New York Jets. I had Minnesota winning this game, no problem. And ultimately they did. Game went 37-17 and Sunday, October 28th. So yeah, you guys, you know what? If you guys want to join me, I'll put that out there too in all of my social media. If you guys want to join me for that game, if everybody's able to watch it, if everybody's able to watch that game, try and figure that out for Eagles versus Jaguars. We'll do a watch along and I'll watch that game live with you guys. I would love to do that. Absolutely love to do that. What's up, Jack? How you doing, man? I'm happy to have you. Very happy to have you. Is NFL available in the UK? Agnostic, it is. NFL will be available in the UK. And Mr. Exclusive just said it'll be on normal TV. When does United play on Sunday? It's a great question. I got my phone here. I can tell you. But real quick, so Minnesota did win that game 37-17, and I did predict that game being Minnesota as the winner without the points. So no problem in that game. Absolutely no problem. So Manchester United play Everton at 9 a.m. On Sunday. So, but love your calls. So, Jack, I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. But so Manchester United play Everton on Sunday at 9 a.m. here local time. So the NFL game, though, will be super early. It'll be at like 4 a.m. local time for me. So we'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. But like I said, I got no problem waking up early for you guys. I'd love doing that. We'll do a watch along for the game. We will. Can you state you as an UFC fan? So, Jack, we'll do that another time. Right now, I'm doing some NFL coverage. If you, so I'm just going over that. Um, so next up, after Minnesota and New York, we're gonna go to Detroit at Miami, and there was no line in that game when I did originally do this, which is which it was a very hard game to predict because of that. But ultimately, I did say that Detroit was going to go out and handle their business, and they won. And that's exactly what they did. Detroit went out there, handled their business. They won the game 32-21, and Detroit won the game. So right now, I've gotten every single game right, but the one that I didn't predict, obviously I can't get that one right. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that Detroit won that game in Miami. Miami didn't have their starting quarterback, and yeah, that was a tough game for Miami. So next up, we had Buffalo at Indy, and I predicted Indy were gonna just beat the crap out of Buffalo, and they did, 37-5. Indy was a -7.5, and I even said bet the under. Or no, I said that the game was going to be about spot on, and the game actually was spot on. So over under was 43.5 points. 37-5. That puts the game at 42 points. That's basically about as on as you could possibly be in terms of making a quick bet. But Indy went out there and they just jack stomped Buffalo. It wasn't even close. Buffalo were so bad, so bad, very sad. So real quick, agnostic Andrew, just a suggestion, man. Why don't you do your review preview and then do a Q&A afterwards so you can concentrate? Agnostic, great point. I've been thinking about how to kind of edit these up. That's not a bad idea. So maybe that's what I'll do. Start, or at least in terms of when I do a live video. But anyways, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to Jacksonville and Houston. This was a game I got wrong. I predicted Jacksonville was going to go out and they were going to win the game, and Jacksonville lost pretty handily at 20-7. I did predict the game being under 42 points though, so I did get that right. And so yeah, it's Jacksonville. They weren't up to task offensively, and they ultimately pulled their starting quarterback in the game. That's how bad it was. Jack, we'll get to that later. At the end of my picks, we will get to that, I promise. So, yeah, Jacksonville, I mean, it did surprise me that Houston put up 20 points. But, yeah, it wasn't really surprising in terms of when watching the game that Houston went out there and won the game. Yeah, Dan, I don't know what happened to the Jags this year. Ultimately, Blake Bortles is showing the exact quarterback that he is. It's really, really sad. Really sad. Next up, we had New Orleans at Baltimore. This was another game I got wrong. And I actually got this wrong in both the over-under and in my pick. I thought this game was going to be a really super high-scoring game. I did a League 2 vlog and somebody. Oh, damn, Jack, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But yeah, I thought this game was going to be a super offensive game, and surprisingly, the game was defensive all the way throughout. I mean, if anybody got the chance to watch this game, I was shocked at how defensive that game was. But you know what? At the end of the day, New Orleans went out there and they handled it in Baltimore, which that's a tough place to go play, especially when it gets to this time of year because it gets colder. It gets so much colder. Jack, there's another question we'll go over at the end. I promise. We'll go over that at the end. Next up, New Orleans went out there and it did make me happy to see it does make me happy to see Drew Brees. No worries, man. No worries. New Orleans and Baltimore, that was actually a really fun game to watch. And I said that was going to be a fun game to watch no matter what. But you know what? I think that game was probably my game of the day in terms of how it went back. It just went back and forth. It was fun. Actually, I'll answer that real quick. So the Pulisic poster. If you guys want to order these, at underscore Maffoo, Maffoo on Twitter. He makes these, and he's actually going to have his Etsy shop up here soon. And if you guys want to order them, get in contact with him on Twitter, and he'll make them for you. He's awesome. Matthew's a great friend of mine. And I'm sure he'll even do custom ones if you guys want something else. So next game I had Dallas at Washington, and I said this was going to be a tough game to predict. I did ultimately wind up picking Dallas, and Dallas did lose the game 17-20. I'm sorry, I couldn't read my own damn handwriting. But yeah, Washington won the game 2017, and it was, and I think I did say that this was going to be an under game on the point score, which was 41.5, and I was right on that. So the game was at 20-17, 37 total points. Yeah, right, Dan. America's team, get out of here. Doesn't get the credit he deserves. No, Jack, that's spot on, man. Drew Brees does not get the credit he deserves for how great of a quarterback he is. Mr. Exclusive, I'll figure out how to shout Matthew out when he gets his shop up. He said he's going to have it up about the end of the week, so I'll get that taken care of for him. So how much is it to get? So these posters, they run at different prices. You'll have to talk to Matthew about them. I got this for free because Matthew and we hung out all day at the Manchester United game I was at, and he gave me one for free for coming over and buying the tickets. So next up, we have the LA Rams at San Francisco, and I said the LA Rams were going to go out and kick the crap out of San Francisco, and I put that as a guarantee. So I predicted that perfect. I said whatever LA is a huge favorite, they go out there and they kick the crap out of teams. And the LA Rams won 39-10 against San Francisco. They put the beating to the San Francisco 49ers. It was bad. Like, it wasn't even a fun game to watch, a lot like the Cardinals game. It was sad. And Dan, exactly, the Rams are on fire right now, which hurts me as an NFC West person. What's up, Bubs? You guys, Arthur decided to join me. Come here, Bubs. Say hi to Arthur. Mwah. He made his first appearance today. Mwah. He's a good boy. All right, get down. Sorry, guys. He was wondering what Dad's doing. So yeah, I honestly, the Rams just they're on fire this year, and let me tell you what, man. I think that the Rams right now are an early pick for a Super Bowl spot. But to put a little bit of a spin zone on this, I think that the NFL might be fixing it a little bit for the Rams to get to the Super Bowl. Because the LA Rams next year are going to be getting their own stadium. And as of next year, they'll be in that stadium. LA is one of the biggest bandwagon cities in the world. They jump on anything that's hot, and they'll jump off just as quick. And I think that the NFL is fixing it to get the Rams to the I could even see the NFL paying teams off to lose. That's how far it goes. Like, honestly, I look at this LA Rams team really isn't crazy amount different from the team that Jeff Fisher had, that Jeff Fisher couldn't do crap with. He couldn't even get above 500 with. Like, I just, oof. Yeah, no, you could see it. You could see it, couldn't you? Like, I think that I know, right, Mr. Exclusive? I think I should probably get off stream, guys. They might be sending the SWAT team after me or some shit. But obviously it's kind of banter too, guys. But the Rams are going out there and they're handling their business week in, week out, and they're a good team. They're a really, really good team. The Chiefs and Rams to be big in Mexico City in a couple weeks. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Tommy. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch too. So next up, we had our Sunday night game here locally, which was Cincinnati at the Kansas City Chiefs. And I said the Kansas City Chiefs we're going to win the game no problem against Cincinnati, and they did. They went out there and they handled their business big time. There was quite a few blowouts this week in the NFL. So Kansas City beat Cincinnati 45-10 in this game, and it was never close. Patrick Mahomes was just slinging the ball all over the place. It's honestly, it was a sad game to watch. It was a sad game to watch but Cincinnati never does well in primetime games. They never do. And it's kind of sad in all honesty. Yeah. So agnostic. Yeah, I got a lot right. So I got the 3 in the middle wrong of Jacksonville, Baltimore, and Dallas. But after that, I got everything right. I'm on fire over here. Tyreek Hill is. They think they call him the cheetah here because he's so freaking fast. Like that kid is so good. I don't like his hair. I don't like how he has the dreads that like he lets hang into his eyes. I think it's a little weird. But you know what? When you're playing as well as he is, you can do whatever you want to do. Go do you, boo-boo. You go do you. He's just absolutely killing it. But yeah, I honestly, and I said this random question. Yes, there can. Agnostic, that's a great question. So there can be draws in the NFL. It's a lot harder to do because we go to overtime and we play a full 15-minute quarter of overtime. And then the game ends. So, yeah. Make that paper, boo-boo, yeah. Can't confirm KC is, but no. And Tommy, Kansas City is a Chiefs town. I know that for a fact. Kansas City is Pat Mahomes looks like the real deal. I love the kid. I wish the Cardinals would have drafted him. So Jack, I did play a little bit of football. Not much, but I did. I played all sports throughout like school and stuff like that. Jack, that's a great question. You know what? We'll answer that end of stream as well as the Super Bowl question and and Jack had another question. I'm sorry, Jack, I couldn't remember your last question. So you asked me who's the Super Bowl people, but you had one more question if you could put that in there. But we're on our last game here, which was Atlanta at the New York Giants, and I predicted Atlanta was going to win this game, and I did predict they were going to win by over 5.5. So I was wrong in that. The game ended 23-21 Atlanta, but I did predict Atlanta was going to win the game, and I did predict that the game was going to be under 45.5 points. Oh, I'm sorry. So real quick, in the Kansas City game, I predicted the game was going to be under 58.5, and I was right on that. The game ended at 55 points. So killing it over here. I gotta get betting here. Gotta get betting here if I can. But yeah, so Atlanta and the New York Giants ended 23-20. And like I said, Atlanta was going to go out and handle their business. And yeah, Atlanta won that game. And honestly, it wasn't as close as the score really showed. And Atlanta handled it. They handled it well. So first question I'm going to answer real quick, guys. So Jack asked, what is the point system? So here's how the point system works. If you get a touchdown, you can get a touchdown both offensively and defensively. If you get so on offense, you can either throw for or run for a touchdown. A touchdown is 6 points. And then on defense, you can get a touchdown by either intercepting the ball, which is when the defense will catch a pass instead of an offensive player, or if you pick up a fumble, which is when the person will drop the ball in open play, pick it up and run for a touchdown. And that's 6 points as well. And then you could also get an extra point, which is 1 point that you get for a close-up field goal, which is where you kick the ball through the uprights. I'm sure you guys have all seen that, where the guys will kick the ball through the uprights. And sorry, guys, there's a crazy flurry right now in the Barcelona-Inter game. Oof. Barcelona just barely missed scoring. So, yeah, so the extra point, they kick it from about 30, I think it's 35 yards out now. And it's an easy field goal that every NFL kicker should make, but for some reason kickers are struggling now. I don't know why. It's weird. And then the last way you can score points is by field goal, which is you kick a field goal from any distance from open play, which is 3 points. And that's typically you're kicking a field goal either at the end of on fourth down, which we can go over that in a game on a live watch along. Jack is a Jack Vlogs. Join the watch along, and I'll try and teach you while we're in game about this stuff, and we'll go over it. So the answer to the question, my Super Bowl prediction right now is I'm going to go with the Rams, and I'm going to go with New England. I'm going to go with the Rams in New England. And I think that ultimately out of those, I could see New England being ballsy enough to just say screw it and win the game. That's a pretty much a favorite pick right now because it's hard to pick against the Patriots, isn't it? It's really hard to pick against the Patriots. Belichick always figures out a way to win. Always figures out a way to win against every team, which is impressive. Honestly, I said it in my Red Bearded preview of this that Belichick is the closest thing we have to Sir Alex Ferguson in terms of any sports manager. He always finds a way to win a game. It's really impressive. And then last question that I got was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. So I think that if you were to take Aaron Rodgers and put him into Bill Belichick's system, I think that he would ultimately do the same exact job that Tom Brady does, only better. So for me, I would choose Aaron Rodgers because I think Aaron Rodgers is a better overall gifted quarterback than Tom Brady. However, Tom Brady is Tom Brady is the same guy as the Patriots on Family Guy. Exactly. Tom Brady right now is the best quarterback other than probably Peyton Manning to have ever played the game. He always finds a way to win the game. Whenever he's had a good wide receiver too, like you think about that year he had Randy Moss, he puts up crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. So I feel bad that Tom Brady has never truly had a number one wide receiver his entire time other than Randy Moss for that short amount of time. But Tom Brady just does it week in, week out. It is hard to pick against Tom Brady in any game because you always think he's going to win it. Always think he's going to win it. So Jack asked us right now, thoughts on Gronk. I love Rob Gronkowski so much. It's not even funny. The dude's hilarious. He honestly, he's a party animal, but at the end of the day, he gets to the game. And I think what people could probably compare it to is Paul Pogba. That Paul Pogba likes to go out there and he likes to dance and he likes to have fun. But at the end of the day, Gronk always shows up. Whenever Gronk is at a game, Gronk always shows up. Later, Agnostic. I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you have a great day, man. But I'm actually going to be wrapping it up after this question. But yeah, I love Gronk, and he's on my fantasy team. I actually have Rob Gronkowski and Travis Kelce on my fantasy team, the two best tight ends in the NFL. Yeah, that was a pretty good pickup, especially being in a PPR league. Miami Dolphins is the most I know about the NFL. You know what, Mr. Exclusive? Classic movie, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Classic. But anyways, guys, this video's gone on for over 30 minutes. I really appreciate I had all the way up to 8 people watching live at one point. I really appreciate you guys all joining in. I'm going to say it every single stream. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for shouting me out. There's so many of you guys that shout me out, retweet me when I'm doing my videos. I really appreciate that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. But I love you guys. I hope you guys liked the video. I'm going to be doing my NFL preview tonight. I'm going to do my Red Bearded preview tonight for the NFL pre-recorded. I'm going to have it out tomorrow morning in my time tomorrow morning before the NFL game. But yeah, it was a great stream, guys. I really appreciate all you guys joining in. And like I said, we're gonna do a watch along for the game in London on Sunday. So should be awesome. Should be awesome. Let's try and get Mark to shout. We'll see, Jack. Maybe one day. I'm not going to ask for favors right now, though, because I don't want to. I don't want to be relying upon anybody, if that makes any sense. I love Mark. Don't get me wrong. I love Mark, but I don't want to be asking Mark for any favors yet. So, anyways, guys, like I said, love you guys. God bless you. Have a great night. Have a great day wherever you're at. Hope you enjoyed the video. And like I said, Sunday, watch along for the game in London. I'll get you all the information I can. But have a great night, guys, and have a good. Just keep doing you. I love you guys so much.